I still think about it, man.
Remember that you guys tried to sub me?
Oh, dude, we got to tell this story. We have to tell this story. This is just funny. This is actually one of the funniest things I've ever witnessed. I actually could cry when I think of this.
So we were in panic mode because we were like 4 days
out.
out.
Let's just lay it out. Let's lay the groundwork here. So we're in Worlds heading into 2018. We had the strongest dive. We had an undefeated season.
Yeah, the whole year.
And that was when there was a lot of good players in OS as well. That's when there was like Ryoma, there was FBI. There was a lot of good players in Oceania this time. This was Destiny, a lot of good players.
Chiefs.
We went to Worlds. Probably had the best roster we've ever had. And we're pretty hyped. We're in boot camping in Korea. And China, and wasn't Worlds in Korea that year? Worlds was in Korea that year. Yeah. We're boot camping before in Korea. We get to the boot camp. And our jungler, Shernfire at the time,
couldn't log in.
No, he was playing. He was playing at the start, wasn't he? He was playing
right.
for a bit, and it was like a few days in, wasn't it?
Oh, dude, because we got food poisoning.
Okay, let's actually. Yeah, we got to talk about that actually.
That's good. Yeah,
the food poisoning story.
Get off the plane.
Okay, so this is Australia to Korea, which is around was it like a 12-hour flight?
14 hours.
14-hour flight.
Did we have a stopover? I can't remember.
We get to Korea. We're starving. We get to we had like an Airbnb.
Yeah.
We go to dinner that night.
Yeah.
We get some...
Japanese
the only thing that's open, there was not much open. The only thing was open, it was a closing store. As the shop was about to close, we get in and order a curry. It was a Japanese curry place, right? And we're like, okay, this will be all good. It's Korea. Surely everyone's pretty healthy. We eat, go back, we sleep, getting ready for a big day of solo queue.
We're getting into it.
So just starting Worlds and boot camp. And... I hear Nathan at
3 a.m.
No, it's at midnight. I swear it was like midnight.
No, it was like 2 a.m. I remember looking at the time.
Okay, so it's 2 a.m. and I hear severe vomiting in the bathroom. Like,
no, it wasn't the bathroom; it was the sink.
Was it also
because that's why because I couldn't get to the bathroom in time, so I just had to think. So my stomach just started feeling really bad, but I thought there's just no way. Like you know, it was the Japanese cake was delicious, you know. And
I hear the funny.
It was uncontrollable.
You were severely vomiting, and the funny thing is like my response is like I woke up in the middle of the night to hear it. I was like, suck shit for Nathan, and went back to sleep. I was like, suck shit.
I was up for 4 hours from 2 till 6, vomiting severely for every 10 minutes for 4 hours. I was never sicker. I've never been sicker in my life. What I had to go to, so once I vomited up all the food.
Yeah.
I hope no one's eating while they're listening to this, by the way, having lunch or something like that. Once I vomited up all my food, I was still vomiting up because my body was just like, this has got to get out because it's like going to kill me, right?
Yeah.
And then I started dry heaving, and then I was like, I got to start drinking stuff. So I started drinking Gatorade, and it was better for me. It felt better to vomit up the Gatorade than just dry heave.
So you're just drinking to vomit.
Drinking to vomit. I had to drink to vomit. And it was just excruciating vomit. And my stomach was just obliterated after like 6 hours. And then Curdy here wakes up.
I wake up at like 8,
yeah,
right? I wake up like 8,
yeah.
I remember. And I didn't feel too well. I remember I had stomach rumbling.
Yeah.
And I was like, surely not, I'll be all good. Like, it's not that bad. And then I start having like... I start having diarrhea.
You went to diarrhea, right?
Diarrhea, then vomiting at the same time.
You had a bucket.
I had a bucket while I was on the toilet. And
and the worst part about this place, it was one bathroom.
It was one bathroom between how many of us?
There's like 7 of us.
7 of us.
Because grand places are really small.
So it was 7 of us in one place with one bathroom. With how many people had food poisoning?
Okay, but no one got it as severe as me and you.
Me and you had it the worst.
Yeah.
I swear Stephen had it, and Shern and Calvin. I'm pretty sure 3 of them had it.
Yeah, I think
everyone got it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to
start vomiting that for the next. So you went over my pattern.
Liquid out of both ends of my body for the next 6 hours. And then I get to the point where Nathan started stop vomiting.
I was starting to slow down, but I still felt like terrible, right? I was still vomiting. Like
I felt so
we went from every 10 minutes to every half an hour. It's still pretty bad.
No, because
right?
I didn't know, and my personality is I do not want to go to the doctors at all costs.
Be a man, dude.
Yeah, just like ride it out,
yeah,
dude.
we're all good.
And at the time,
That was my mindset.
Yeah, my
And then,
mindset's write it out.
You convinced me. You're like, Nathan, I think this is bad. No, you heard about some sort of disease.
Yeah, we heard about a disease that was like going around at the
killing people.
time that was picked up at the airport from
Yeah.
like from a Middle Eastern country.
We didn't put it as a food poisoning yet.
And we didn't know. And then no, and we went to bed. I went back to bed, and then we realized we had to go to the doctors.
No, you realize. You convinced me. I was fine. I was like, I was ready to die.
It was all from the social media manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they convinced us that we should go to the doctors.
Yeah. She
So
was Korean, so
she was Korean, and she convinced us to go to the doctors. So we're like, all right, I should probably go. So I'm dreading this. I'm like, and you stopped vomiting at this point.
That was. I can't believe you did that. So we go to a small doctor near
Small
us.
local doctors, and I was still vomiting on my way there.
Yeah.
So I was just going in bushes on the way.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even. I was like hallucinating, man. I was so out of it because
So
you
all my
started.
nutrients were gone.
Because I started 6 hours after you. So you had a 6 hour, which actually was better for you
Better
because
for
you
me,
weren't
yeah.
vomiting during the day. I was vomiting during the day.
Yeah. Do you know how hard it is to be out in public and you're ready to vomit?
Oh,
I can't believe
it's
that.
the worst.
You can't control it.
I can't
You
control it.
hold
It was like spontaneous.
Yeah.
So I managed to get to the doctor. As soon as I go to the doctors, I go to the bathroom and vomit again.
Yeah.
And then we're the only white people in this entire doctors. And then we're like dying,
Yeah.
dude.
We look dead.
We look dead. And I'm like constantly going to the bathroom and they hear me vomit.
They hear him, yeah.
So they're like, everyone starts putting on face masks and everyone's starting to like move away and the doctor's starting to panic, like all the people. And
We
like,
get our checkup and like you guys are going straight to the hospital.
yeah, so no, the funny thing is when I got checked by the doctor, I remember that I was so out of it. I was so angry and I couldn't even talk.
That
I
was at
just-
the hospital.
No, at the doctor.
was
When I
at
went
the
to saw that
doctor.
doctor,
Okay, yeah.
she laid me down on the thing and I couldn't even stay still because I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
She touched my stomach. I was like, "Ugh," and then I was like, it's hurting. And then she's like, what how does it feel like? She's like, tell me what it feels like. And I said, it feels like shit. That's what I said. That's literally what I
Great-
said.
great
And she was
analysis
angry as hell at
Yeah.
that. And I didn't know what to say. I was
Yeah.
just so angry as well. And then they sent us straight to this massive hospital, the best hospital.
That was a nice hospital. That was excellent.
And they thought that we
Excellent
had this
hospital.
crazy disease potentially. And then
Yeah.
the head of the disease
the
control in Korea
came to us. Yeah, came to us.
head of
Oh my
disease
God, I
control
forgot
in
about
South
that.
Korea
She
came
gave us
to
a card and everything.
She gave us a business card saying like, let us know what happens. And this crazy shit went on and we got blood tests.
We had the drip.
The
Like
IV drip.
nutrients? Yeah,
No,
with
and
the
I
IV
need to
drip.
tell the story about the peeing.
Oh, God, if you want to get into that, go
Yeah,
ahead.
this was actually a nightmare situation. Dude.
Yeah.
So I was still vomiting outside the hospital on the way like we got out the taxi. I vomited straight away again, and I was so dehydrated. I couldn't even like swallow. There was nothing I couldn't even have saliva in my mouth anymore. And I had to give a urine sample, and then the urine sample, I couldn't pee. And they said, if you don't give us urine, we're going to stick this tube up there and get it ourselves. And
God,
I was
that's-
panicking at this point. I'm
that's
like, I do not,
terrifying.
I'm not doing that. And of course, you're not touching me with that thing. I'm not putting that, you're not putting it anywhere near me.
Oh.
And, so then I had my IV drip with me with this little like, what do they call like these little like stands? And I'm like
Yeah, you had to
inching
stand
my way
in the
through
ba-
to the bathroom with this thing, trying to like.
You feel like an old
and
man.
I had all the taps on in the bathroom. I turned on all the taps.
Get in the headspace.
I'm trying to listen,
Release.
like concentrate on the water. Like, relax. It's like a waterfall. Waterfall is okay. Let's keep flushing. I just want to see water, flowing movement. And then I was there for like half an hour, 45 minutes passing. And then they're getting ready. 10 minutes left. If you don't give us a urine sample, we have to do this. And I'm just starting to stress so hard. And then I end up like dribbling a little bit out. And then, yeah.
But you would have been stoked because you didn't have
Oh,
to.
I was so happy, dude.
Yeah.
I was so happy when that happened. And then,
So they give us so many drugs.
so many drugs. They gave
man.
us what, like,
Oh
they probably
my
gave us like
God.
10 individual packets of pills.
It was probably like 15 pills.
And we had to
would have
take 10 a day, 10 a
Yeah,
day, right?
yeah.
15 pills a day,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
And I didn't take a single one.
We didn't care
No,
about
you
it.
took one day worth.
I did one day. I'm like, I'm not doing.
I'm not
this.
doing. I'm not taking anything.
I'm just gonna because at that point, okay. So
I'm like the side effects of this is gonna probably kill me, so I'm not gonna touch them.
yeah. So I mean, we were so sick that night. That whole day. I mean, I remember we said we would rather die than continue to live.
Yeah, I
with so
nearly
much
contemplated.
pain.
I said to myself, I'm
I'm all good. I'm all good to check out here. Like I had a
Yeah,
good run.
me too. I was like, no, you know what's so angry? I was like, I can't believe
Yeah.
I'm gonna die like this.
I know that was ridiculous.
That's what I said to myself. I'm
man.
like, I'm so
Yeah.
angry. If I'm gonna die,
Yeah.
like I don't want to die like this. Like just slowly dying
Sick
to some
in
like
bed.
weird disease
Yeah.
in another country. My family can't even see me. Like
Nah.
that's so shit.
Get shipped back to Australia.
So I was just angry because I was gonna die. I genuinely thought I was gonna die.
Oh yeah, it was just terrible.
And-
I mean, I was I was just hoping that North Korea would just nuke
Yeah.
South Korea at
I
that
was like,
time.
do anything.
I was like, Kim Jong Un, just get rid of
I
it
just
now.
wanted to
This
get
is
drugs
good.
and get passed out. That's all I wanted.
I just wanted to just die.
And we never found out what it was. We never really got the result. We got the results back, but we couldn't understand them, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that we didn't get an urgent like.
No, but you had some
pause.
weird blood test, and didn't you get something weird that you
No,
had,
but I never went for the results because I was all good.
yeah, we
You
didn't
had
go
to
back,
get the
right?
results. But yeah, so I mean,
never
it took
found
us
out what
3
it
days.
was.
Oh, dude, getting our appetite back, that was
That
just
took days.
brutal, man. But that first meal we had, what was it? Bibimbap?
Yeah, bibimbap was so good.
Stone. Oh,
that's good.
remember that feeling of eating food
Oh,
again?
it was so good.
And then we Korean barbecue as well that
It's a
night.
I think I just like, yeah.
That was incredible.
Nah, but even the Korean barbecue didn't taste good though, because I was still like sick.
I couldn't eat much, but like
I
I
like
could
3
shovel
pieces.
some stuff in there, but it was just
It was
amazing.
good. Anyway, we went way off track.
That was 4 days.
So then-
that was the first 4 days.
That was the first
of
4
game.
days, 5 days, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we finally started getting into solo queue. And Shern had having to have an interaction with someone in solo queue, and there's strict no toxicity on the Korean
When you get
accounts.
when you get accounts from Riot, they track you, they monitor you.
And Shern ended up saying something, and he got banned. And he was our only jungler, right? He was probably the best player on our team at the time,
Yeah.
nearly. And that's it. Went to Worlds, qualified, everything, and he's banned.
Yeah.
Can't play.
Couldn't log in. Find out we get an email from Riot, and we're in absolute PR mode, disaster as well.
Because everyone found out that Shern got banned, and then
This is a joke. Blah blah blah.
yeah, because he had gotten banned in the past
Yeah.
before. And then anyway, we had to find out a contingency plan. Who are we going to play jungle with? Because we were versing EDG.
Yeah.
EDG.
Love.
We're versing Clear Love and like this team, really good team, Chinese team in the play-ins. We're versing a decent Brazilian team, was it? Something like that. Was it in Infinite Gaming?
Infernum.
That's what
Infinity
Infinity
Esports.
wins.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the meme in OS.
Yeah.
And we had to play with a sub jungle who was basically he basically got a rookie jungler essentially. He'd never really played properly.
Yeah.
He never played on stage ever.
No, we initially tried me. I played some Swift.
Oh yeah, so our first plan was actually get Nathan, and Nathan hadn't played jungle.
I mean, I didn't play the game for 3 years at this point.
You hadn't actually probably played the game
No.
3 years.
Yeah.
You were like gold in solo queue.
Probably, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And Nathan was our only option at the time because our sub, we didn't bring a sub. Our sub was in Australia.
Yeah.
And we were either, okay, we have to get a sub, fly a sub all the way here to play for us, who was already a rookie and not that good at the game anyway, or we get Nathan. So then we had to we
did
did scrims with Nathan, and Nathan could only play Udi and Ramus and shit.
Oh, it was a disaster.
And we actually won some scrims with Nathan in the jungle.
Yeah, we remember versing Gambit.
Japan. We versed Japan and Gambit.
Gambit, yeah. I remember destroying Diamond Box in the early game, but then they beat us in it because I had no idea how to
because we didn't have a jungle, and then the solo lanes were getting really angry.
Yeah,
because they're like saying, "I don't want to play with this shit
Oh,
jungler
yeah,
Rip.
it
He
was
doesn't know
bad.
what the hell he's doing."
I felt so bad. I was just like, guys, I can't do this. I just don't.
So
play the
imagine going from gold solo queue to playing versus some of the best players in the world. Imagine doing that.
It would have been embarrassing. Yeah.
So anyway, we were scrimming with Nathan for a little bit. We got sick of it. We got the sub jungler to come in, play with the sub jungle, and then we just
So the ban was we only had 4 games, and the ban was for 2 games, half our games.
half our games, and then we just lost those games. That wasn't enough to get.
But it was
through.
just everyone's headspace after.
It was
just
so
a mess.
negative. It was
Yeah,
so
it was
negative
dumb.
because of everyone was so angry. Like the support was so angry at Shern.
Yeah.
Everyone was just angry at Shern in a way. And it was disappointing. Well, actually, it was
very
incredibly disappointing, dude. I was incredibly disappointed. Everyone was disappointed.
Yeah.
That was 20.
So that was our experience in
18 for us.
2018, yeah.
But anyway.